You believed in us, and you kept us off the street. You put clothes on our back, and you put food on the table. When you didn't eat, you made sure we ate. You slept hungry, and you sacrificed for us. You are the real MVP. That is what Kevin Durant said after he won MVP in 2014. The MVP is not just another hardware for these guys. It means a lot to them. So the NBA should be going more in depth into who wins it. The main points I want to discuss are the advanced and regular stats, as well as team record and how it affects the three finalists, as well as the actual MVP. The media coverage and how that influences the MVP, how the voting system works. We'll start off the voting system and how it works. Who votes? Sports writers and broadcasters across North America vote for who wins MVP. I say across North America because there are some Canadian voters, because there's a team in Toronto. None of the 100 voters are biased. They can't have any favorite players or teams. They have to have no affiliation with any of that stuff. There's also a 101st ballot, where fans can vote online, although it is only worth 1 point. Announcing the MVP. It is announced after the postseason, although it is a regular season award. And even if a player, especially an MVP candidate, underperforms in the playoffs or overachieves, it simply does not matter. It has no effect on who wins the race. All 100 voters get 5 votes. All 5 votes are worth different points, and they can give it to 5 different people. The first place vote is worth 10 points. Second place, 7 votes. Third place, 5 votes. Fourth place, 3 votes. And fifth place is worth 1 vote. Obviously, the most points is the winner. And if a player can snag all first place votes, they are the unanimous MVP. Although this only happened one time with Steph Curry in 2016. How the 3 finalists are selected, they are selected just like the MVP. They are chosen with a voting system of collective sports writers and broadcasters across North America. Once the 3 finalists are chosen, no one else in the NBA can win it. It is only a race between those 3. To start off with, we'll start with team record. Team record and success is very important. Well, there's only one person in the history of the NBA who won MVP and had a negative record, that being Bob Pettit in the 60s. And there's only 3 people who won it without getting 50 wins. The only person to have ever not made the playoffs and won MVP is Bob Pettit. And it is very rare for an MVP to win it and be below the 4th seed. Hence why Steph Curry didn't win it last year, being the 8th seed, even though he had better statistics than the rest of the candidates. Another example of this is in 2006, when Steve Nash and Kobe Bryant were in the race. Steve Nash had 18 points, 10 assists, and 4 rebounds. Meanwhile, Kobe had 35 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. But Steve Nash's record was 54 and 28, and Kobe Bryant's is 45 and 37. So that is why Steve Nash won. Regular stats are also a big reason to how an MVP can be won. Those are the first stats that pop up when you look into a player, like points per game, rebounds per game, assists per game, steals per game, and blocks per game, as well as all the field goal percentages. They are crucial to win an MVP, however, they are not all of it. You cannot overlook all the other stats. The next thing I want to get into is advanced stats. Unlike regular stats, you have to dive deeper to get into this stuff. And it proves how impactful a player is. To name a few, we got PER, which is player efficiency record. You take the positive stats minus negative stats, and that gives a number based on the result. There's win shares, which you divide among team success. Divide team success among players, and the higher it is, the better player you are. There are 3 players this year: Giannis Antetokounmpo, Joel Embiid, and Nikola Jokic. Those 3 players are blowing advanced stats out of the water. And that is why although it hasn't been confirmed yet, they're probably going to be the 3 finalists for MVP in the MVP race. The media coverage also influenced the MVP race quite a bit, such as voter fatigue. After winning an MVP, the media gets tired of voting for the same person. Just like in 2019 and 2020, when Giannis won MVP back-to-back. And then in 2021, Giannis wasn't even considered because the media was sick and tired of voting for him. Another example of this is Derrick Rose over LeBron in 2011. LeBron won MVP in 2009 and 2010. However, the media was sick of giving it to him, and they wanted to give it to a new young star. Another thing media coverage does and how they influence MVP race is recency bias. A player can recently have a great game or a series of games, and the standings can shoot up, especially at the end of the regular season. One example of this is Devin Booker. In the last couple of weeks, he has gone off. He's done great. However, he should not win it because he has not done as good all season long as the other players. A lot of stuff goes into how voting is ran, how voters look at how a player should win, and how media coverage affects and influences an MVP race. Overall, NBA fans love to talk about the MVP, they love arguing about the MVP, and they love expressing their opinions about the MVP. However, if you think Giannis isn't the MVP, then you are wrong.